Majority of Latino people are very racist. I didn't know that I was living in a very racist country until I met my Jamaican husband and he made me realize how racist people in Cuba were.
It's true. Black people will be discriminated against in a Latin American country. If you're leaving America to get away from discrimination and you're moving to a Latin American country thinking that you're not going to be discriminated against, you're wrong.
Back to my YouTube channel once again. My name is Dash Lifestyle. Kindly for watching me for the first time, remember to subscribe, like, share and also comment. To my returning subscriber, thank you so much for always coming back and watching my video. Thank you so much for the love and support. So guys, I want us to watch this video. We have this lady from Cuba and also we have this lady from Mexico. They have both come out and exposed racism towards black people in Latin America. They have come out and exposed their own culture for what they are doing to the black people. They are showing racism towards black people. So guys, watch this video, then I'll be back with more comments.
I lived in Miami for almost a year, and while I was there, in the apartment building that I was living in Pembroke Pines, there were some Mexican guys doing some repairs on the roof. They saw me pass by walking my dog, and they say, "Beautiful, morena." And I was like, "Oh, thank you." And they say, "Where are you from?" And I say, "Cuba." They say, "Cuba? We didn't know people in Cuba look like you." And I said, "Like me, like what? Black?" And he just stopped on his tracks and changed the subject. The majority of Latino people are very racist. I didn't know that I was living in a very racist country until I met my Jamaican husband and he made me realize how racist people in Cuba were. And once your eyes are open to this, you cannot unsee it. There was a time in Jamaica when you could watch Spanish television. We had two TV stations, Univision and Telemundo. These TV stations, each of them had one black anchor. One had one female for the news, and the other one had a male, two black people. Both TV stations show a wide array of telenovelas, which is basically Spanish soap operas. And these telenovelas were made and produced in Latin America. Brazil, Colombia, Mexico are one of the biggest places where soap operas are made. Now you tell me now how a Colombian telenovela of 350 episodes don't have one black person in it. If you see a black actor on a telenovela, is actually playing a slave or a character that they are trying to bring back to life, like Celia Cruz. So these have just added to that white supremacy and have made people from other places believe that black people doesn't exist in Latin America any at all. So if as a Jamaican, you travel to Miami and you suffer what he did, don't be surprised. I'm sorry this happens to you, but it's a sad truth. Hopefully this will change soon in the future. Thanks for watching. Mucha love.
It's true. Black people will be discriminated against in a Latin American country. If you're leaving America to get away from discrimination and you're moving to a Latin American country thinking that you're not going to be discriminated against, you're wrong. I've been hearing a lot about people that have moved to Mexico and are complaining that they're being discriminated against in Mexico. Let me tell you something. Mexico discriminates against their own Mexican people that are darker shade than the rest of them. In Mexico, there's a lot of states that have very fair skin and blue eyes people. The people that have indigenous features, the very dark skin, the black hair, are discriminated against. So you coming to live to Mexico and think that you're not going to be discriminated against, it's a fallacy. This is not just in Mexico. It happens everywhere in Latin America. Black people are discriminated against. In Honduras, there's an entire community of Garifunas. And Garifunas have been in Honduras for hundreds of years. And to this day, they discriminate against them. They remove their land. Some of them even get murdered. It's a battle Garifunas have gone through for decades with Honduras, because Honduras to this day does not recognize Garifunas as part of being part of Honduras. And so I grew up looking at Garifunas as if they were subculture, subhuman. I'm telling you, you think that you're leaving the US and moving to a Latin American country to escape racism. You're not escaping racism. And you need to understand that that's just the way things are. And it's very acceptable. Those of you who are coming on TikTok complaining that they're in Mexico and that they are embracing the Mexican culture and why are they being discriminated against, that is why. Mexico people discriminate against their own. What do you think it's going to happen when you're there? In fact, in Mexico, if you don't have light skin and blue eyes, first of all, look at the telenovelas. You tell me, what do you see in telenovelas? You're only going to see beautiful people with light skin and blue eyes. You're going to see some indigenous people. The vast majority of the roles they give the indigenous actors is of the maid, is of, it's never the pretty woman. Yeah. How many actors do you know in Mexico that are in a telenovela and they happen to be black? Just look at the telenovelas and you tell me how many indigenous actors and actresses you're going to see in those telenovelas. It's the reality in Mexico, and you need to understand that. You're not escaping racism by moving to a Latin American country.
I just wanted to address this comment that was left under this post. In no way I am negating what this person commented, because historically Miami has been racist. Let's talk about how on South Beach, Black entertainers couldn't even stay in the hotels, like Fontainebleau. Black people could not stay in those hotels. They would have to cross over the bridge and stay in Overtown or whatever. So yeah, Miami has historically been racist. Yes. I can only speak from my experience of living in Miami. I've been in South Florida 7 years, but I lived in Miami for 4 of those 7 years. And I personally have not experienced any racism. Now, it's not to say that it's not there, but Miami is also truly neighborhood-wise, it's divided. Depending on what neighborhood you live, you will only see certain type of people, and that's just how it is here. I used to live downtown Miami, and in my experience, and I used to live and work in downtown Miami, so I would walk to work and walk home from work. And the only Black people that I would see besides myself would be the doorman that would greet me when I left my building. People think Miami is so diverse. It is. It's diverse, but like I said, it's very segregated. So when I first came to Miami in 2009, I stayed in South Beach because I didn't know any better. And, that's where everyone goes. And you saw a lot of Black people there. You saw a lot of Black people on South Beach. But you have to realize that majority of those people on South Beach are tourists and they don't live in Miami. So when I lived in downtown Miami and I was like, yo, where the Black people at? I'm asking, where Black people at? They're not there. They're not there in downtown. They're not there in the Brickell area, Coral Gables. It's very few of us. Now, I don't live in that area anymore. The area that I decided to reside in Miami is more of a mixed community, and I'm not the only Black person. And even when I go out to dine or establishments, I try to support just Black-owned businesses because the service is usually 100 times better. They understand me and they give me great service. So Miami can be hella racist. So I encourage everyone to support Black-owned businesses. When you visit Miami, when you come here and you live here or you're visiting, look up Black establishments to support and spend your dollars there. Okay, that's all I had to say.
How Black are the Dominicans really? The answer may surprise you. While Dominicans, just like other Caribbean Latinos, mainly descend from 3 large ancestral groups, there is something about them that is different from Puerto Ricans and Cubans. For starters, they're the least native-descended group out of the 3, with only 8% of their genome being that of Taino origin. Now, where they truly differ from Cubans and Puerto Ricans is that they possess 42% of South Saharan African ancestry, which is double that of Puerto Ricans, and is the highest average out of all Hispanic countries. However, at 50%, their European ancestry is still major, and by itself is the largest ancestral component. Please keep in mind that these results are the average, and individuals can vary. So while some people mock Dominicans for claiming to be mixed, rather than solely Black, it should be noted that they have almost equal proportions of European and African ancestry, on average have 25% less South Saharan ancestry than African Americans, and 40% less than Haitians. So to put it in perspective, Dominicans are the most African out of Latinos and are nearly half African in their ancestry, but they still have more European descent than African Americans and Haitians. Interestingly enough, remains of Dominicans from 16th century shows that their makeup was more similar to Cubans back then, but over time, increasingly...
Guys, I hope you have watched that video from our Cuban sister and also from our Mexico sister coming out and expose the racism towards Black people in South American country and also in Mexico and also in Cuba. So this is the kind of racism that Black people, they are still facing up to date in this Latino or this South American country. And also I remember I did a video of our Black American brother. He came out and exposed racism that Black people, they are facing in Miami. And also this Black guy came out and said that when he was in Miami, so many people, they were looking at him as if he's kind of lost or as if he's not supposed to be there. You can see this is now the kind of racism that Black people, they are still facing in South America. And also thank you so much for our Cuban sister and also our Mexican sister for coming out and expose this kind of racism. And also it is not only for the Black people, also in Mexico we also have Black Mexican, and also we have some white Mexican. But you can see also the Black people in Mexico, the Black Mexican, Afro Mexican, also they are facing this kind of racism towards the white Mexican. And let me tell you, all this racism and all this colorism started during colonialism, whereby the Black people were the ones who were working to the slave masters, and that's why up to date it has not yet changed. So many white people, they are taking they are doing this racist because of what happened during slavery, what the colonial master brought, so that up to date they are not yet stopped this racism. So guys, in Mexico, I've told you that we have white Mexico and also we have Black Mexican. So also the Black people, they are facing this racism in Mexico, simply because, you know, in Mexico we don't have that pure white Mexican, and also we don't have pure Black Mexican. But in Mexico, a lot of them, they have also Black gene, and also a lot of them, they have white gene. But you guys, you know that Black gene, it is very strong. If you take a Black man, to marry a white man. So the genes that they will produce automatically, it will be a black. They will give birth to a baby who looks more black, not white. And this is to tell you that black gene, it is very strong. So in Cuba, most of them, they have black gene, and for those people who are having this white gene, they also take advantage. Also, they see that those Cubans who they have this black skin as not the part of the Cuban. So the Cubans, they are also doing racism to their own Mexican people, and simply because, and also our sister, they have come out and tell the example is when you see in their telenovela or this series, in these movies they are usually produced, in these soaps that they usually show to the world. So when you look at the Mexican film, you might find out majority of them, for those people, the majority of actors, they are white people. But when black people is coming to be, he or she is being introduced in this movie, in their own movie. So they give a role to black people, the role of struggle, the role of a maid, the role of people who is not who don't have a chance, the role of the people who know that bad role. You guys, you know the things that I'm talking. They will always give out the bad role to the black people. So this is to tell you that also there are still the racism towards black people in Mexico. It is still continue, because these people, they don't appreciate the black people. They still oppress the black people. But for me, I'm telling you that all this, it is coming to change. You people, be ready for black people, because you all know black people, they are everywhere. And soon, not enough, black people, they will take over this world by storm. And also black people will be respected. So why am I saying this? The other day in Philippines, they really want black genes. They really need help from the black people. They are living their racist culture. They are living their culture whereby they only get married to their own people, to their own race. But right now they want to get married towards the black people. And because of black people going there in Philippines and help them to and help their women by impregnate them and give out the baby, you may see that soon, not enough, Philippines, it will have a lot of black people. And this is to tell you that black people, they are coming to take over this world. The other day also, Japan, it was paying some good amount to the black men to go in Japan to impregnate also their women, so that they can save their dying population, because we all know that Japan population, it is decreasing. So they were offering some good amount of money to the black people to go and impregnate their women, so that they can save their population. And by also these black men going in Japan and give their and impregnate their baby, also you might find out that in future we will be having a lot of black people in Japan. And this is to tell you that black people, they are taking over this world by storm. So soon, not enough, black people will be respected. Soon, not enough, you may find out that also in Mexico will be having black president or black prime minister, or whatever they see the head is. And also in Japan also will be having a black president. In Philippines also, soon, not enough, we'll have a black president or black prime minister. So black people, although right now we are facing this kind of racism towards this Latina or South American country, but black people will be coming to take over this world by storm. And also this is also, I've decided to share this information also to the people who are preparing to go in this South American, in the Mexico, in the Cuba, in the Latin, in Miami. So you guys, my black people, be prepared very well, because the racist towards black people, it is not yet over in some of the South American country. So black people, they are still being oppressed. Black people, they are still denying, they are being given less opportunity in this in this South American country, and also the black people, they are not be respected in this country. So when you are going in this country, know what the kind of people you are going to deal with, know what you are going to face. So be prepared mentally and physically, and that's why I usually that's why I decided to share these videos of racism towards black people. I cannot sit here and see my brothers and sisters being oppressed, or they are discriminated, or they are not respected, and sit down and do nothing. So that's why I've come out and share with you, because I know some of the media cannot share with you this thing. Yeah, the media in the US, they cannot show this thing. Also, some of the media, they have been shut because of trying to protect, to defend black people. But for us, we cannot sit down and see black people being oppressed. So that's why I've shared this video. And also, guys, you can like this video so that it can reach to a lot of people. And also, if you are facing any kind of racism and you want to share to the world, kindly you can go to my email and DM me your experience towards the racism or any kind of discrimination that you face in this foreign country. So kindly, guys, subscribe if you haven't subscribed, like this video, share, and also comment. See you on my next one. Bye bye.